Hey plant lovers, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be sharing my favourite houseplants from this month, which is July 2024. And these are in no particular order, but first is the Alocasia dragon scale, and I'm pleased to say it is still alive. Hello. Yeah, I think this one was definitely one that worried me a little bit. It is an alocasia, and even though I've managed to keep some other alocasias alive, I'm still a little bit nervous. I can't help it. But so far so good. This one is looking good. It's still alive. I did repot it into some new soil because, yeah, I just wanted to make sure that it was in a nice, loose, well-draining soil. And it seems really happy. I've been making sure that it gets plenty of light and that I give it watering when it needs it, and so far so good. Which I'm really happy about, because the reason I love this one so much is the stunning foliage. It really does live up to its name of the dragon scale. It does just look like dragon scales, doesn't it? And I always say this one looks like some kind of alien plant, and it really does. It's a really cool plant. I love this plant. Does anyone else have this one? I'd love to hear your experiences with it. I haven't had mine that long yet, so if anyone has any tips, do let me know. So next up I've got this umbrella plant, and this one is more of a kind of a gold version. It's got more of the gold colour in the leaves. I've also got another one of these, a variegated one, but it has more of the dark green. This one does have dark green, but it's just a bit less than the other one that I have, but I really love the colour of this one. I believe this one also comes in white too, so where you see the yellow you'd get white instead. I'd love to find one of those, but yeah, I do now have 3 umbrella plants, and I'm considering maybe potting a couple of them up into the same pot, or maybe all into the same pot at some point. I have been noticing that as my collection grows, I'm definitely feeling the burn when it comes to plant care, and I can see why a lot of people feel the need to downsize once they get their collections to a certain level. So I'm kind of being a little bit more picky about which plants I bring in now. But yeah, I had to get this one. This was probably the best one there, I'd say. Obviously I picked my favourite, but I really do love the variegation in this one, and I'll definitely consider potting it up with my other plant as well. Next is this beautiful pink Syngonium, and this one did actually have a case of aphids. For some reason aphids seem to love Syngoniums. I don't know if anyone else has had that experience, but it was pretty easy to get rid of them. I just did what I usually do with aphids, which is take the plant out of the soil, completely discard the old soil, and then I dip the entire plant in a bath of insecticidal soap and kind of swish it about in there. Then I repot it, and yeah, it seems to get rid of aphids really well. I'm not sure about other pests, but certainly if you have an aphid problem and your plant is small enough to dip, definitely try the dip method. This one, as you can see, it hasn't been damaged at all. It's nice and healthy, and it has been in quarantine, of course, for a while, but there's no signs of any bugs now, so it's out of quarantine and back in with the general population. So yeah, it's really important when you get a new plant to kind of check if it has pests, and honestly, it's probably a good idea to just treat a plant for pests anyway, even if it doesn't have them, because oftentimes I find that I don't actually see them until maybe a week or even 2 weeks, sometimes longer into having them. So sometimes there can be eggs and things on them. So yeah, just keep an eye out. Another plant I'm super obsessed with this month is this Aglaonema Cutlass, and it was sold to me as an Aglaonema Cutlass, but I think 1 or 2 of you have mentioned in the comments that maybe it might have been mislabeled and it might be something else. If it is, then it is, but I don't really know, so I'm just calling it Aglaonema Cutlass for now. But either way, whatever it is, I really love this one. It's growing pretty good too. I didn't really expect to be getting new leaves yet, but I'm getting new leaves, and I have repotted it too, of course, into some lovely new soil, and it just seems super happy, and I'm really enjoying having it around. I love the sort of silvery blue colour that it has. It's just a really lovely plant. And being an Aglaonema, it's also super easy to care for, so that's really good. Next is this Tradescantia. Well, it's actually two different types of Tradescantia in there. One is more of a sort of a greeny silvery colour, the other one's the purple colour. But I recently potted these up together and they are really loving life in there. You can see it's just starting to cascade over the pot, but these do really grow really fast and eventually it will start to trail. So I'm really looking forward to that. But yeah, it's just such a pretty plant and very easy to care for. A fast grower. I can't believe how fast these plants have grown since I brought them home. And yeah, it's really nice to just have a bit of colour in my collection sometimes, because obviously most plants are green, so to have kind of purples and pinks and reds is really nice. Speaking of reds, I just have to include this plant because look at all this amazing new growth. It is growing so well after I propagated it. This is the Iresine Herbstii Bloodleaf plant, and yeah, it's responded so well to being pruned. It's getting really big. I'm really shocked at how quickly it's actually grown back, and all of the cuttings that I replanted into the pot are also growing back nice and strong, and it's just looking really nice. So yeah, I'm really happy that I took the chance to chop and prop this one. It's certainly responding well, and the fact that it gives two branches where you cut the one off, that's perfect because it obviously promotes a much fuller plant, which is exactly what I'm looking for. I'm also super happy that this Alocasia Polly has grown this huge new leaf. Just look at that. You can see how much bigger it is compared to the other leaves, so the fact that it's sized up, I hope, says something about that it's happy. But yeah, I'm really happy with that. And I've had this plant since 2023, winter 2023, just before Christmas I bought it. And so I have had it for 6, 7, 8 months, something like that, and it hasn't actually grown any new leaves until now, and it's given me this one. So I had to include this one because yeah, I'm just really happy about that. I didn't think it was going to grow. I thought that maybe something was wrong with it. Maybe it just needed a bit of time to settle in, but yeah, it seems really happy. I'm making sure I give it enough light and water and feed to make sure it keeps producing new leaves. So let's see what happens. Next one on my favourite list this month is this whale fin snake plant, because look at that cute new little baby that's coming in. I just love how the babies come in on this plant. They come up kind of rolled up and then they kind of expand like this one here. And it's just super cute the way it grows. I don't know if this one's going to size up for me this year. Maybe it will, but either way, oh, I can see another one as well. There's another one coming out of the soil. I just love the way this one grows. As I say, the babies are so cute, and yeah, it's a really easy plant. Basically, I just do nothing. I leave it, give it plenty of sun, and then I just water it when it gets dry, and that's it. It doesn't really need much. It's not going to need repotting probably for a couple of years or so, maybe even 3, but yeah, super easy, but super cute too. And I kind of almost don't want this one to grow bigger because it's kind of like a baby plant, if you know what I mean. I'm not like that. I like my plants to grow big, but this one, I kind of like it all small and cutesy, especially as I say, those babies, they are just so cute. They kind of remind me of those wafers, you know, the wafers that you put on ice cream when they're first coming out. Next is my pink princess, and this one of course has been putting out some leaves which aren't very variegated. You can see there, it does have some variegation in it, and there it kind of has speckles, but honestly I hear that everyone has this with this plant. It's just part of the plant's makeup. So I still really love it though, and also if you look at the new leaf that's coming out, I don't know if you can see, there's a good chunk of pink in that one, and Yeah, I'm just finding this plant really interesting. Regardless of how unstable the variegation is, I don't really mind. It is, however, getting to the point where it needs something to climb. It's kind of starting to get a little bit taller, so I am planning on putting this one on a pole very, very soon. And the next one on my list is my Philodendron Silver Sword. I did just give this one a pole extension, and it's a bit of a shoddy job, I have to admit, but I did my best. But I'm really loving this plant because, as you can see, the leaves are starting to get more mature as they climb. This is why I wanted to make sure I gave it an extension so that it could carry on climbing and carry on maturing. But I'm just really excited for this plant. I'm excited to see those leaves get bigger and more mature, and yeah, it's just really fun to watch this one grow. Next is my Anthurium Clarinervium, because we are getting another leaf. If I just turn it around, look at that, another little baby leaf coming in there. And this is really cool because it means that if the other leaves survive, I will be out of the 4-leaf club, which I've been waiting for a long while for that. So yeah, this one definitely makes my favourite list this month. Look at those gorgeous leaves, they really are stunning. It's not hard to see why so many people love anthuriums. I love the heart shapes of this leaf. So once this new little baby leaf comes through, I shall hopefully have 5 leaves instead of 4 if I don't lose one. I really hope I don't, because yeah, I'm so looking forward to being out of the 4-leaf club on this one. What did you think of today's favourites? What do you have in your favourite list this month? Let us all know down in the comments. I'd love to know what your favourite plants are right now. And if you enjoyed this video, guys, give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button if you'd like to see more planty content from me. And until next time, guys, as always, make sure you look after your plants and look after yourself.